trying to move appropriately and accordingly. What I want to say today, or what I'm going to say today, will make certain individuals upset. I don't care, because it just kind of goes with the title of the cast. Kimberly Hopeful, how you doing? What's good, Brother Bill? Sister Free, appreciate you. I'm really just trying to align how I kind of had some things set up in my mind, how I was going to do things, but I really, I've really never worked well off of scripts unless I had to be scripted. And I'm not sure exactly why I would script myself about myself. So I'm not going to do that, but I'm going to touch on a few things because I've really misled people. I've really made people think that they should view me in a different way. And I don't want to mislead anybody else in any other way. So the title of the clip today is I Wasn't Sent Here to Be Liked. And I know this. I know this wholeheartedly. I was not sent here to be liked. Peace to the Half Space for subscribing. Is that who Kimberly Hopeful is? Are you a moderator, an administrator, facilitator, content creator? Who are you, Kimberly Hopeful? Whoever you are, you're obviously a part of the team because you got HAPS as your heading. And I welcome you. Just like I'll welcome anybody that's going to check this cast out. Or I do welcome anybody that checks the cast out. Whether it be on HAPS, whether it be on Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, Periscope. You get the link on Twitter. Hell, I'm not even on Twitter. My link is on Twitter more than I'm on Twitter. I had to go back because I was feeling a little strange. I just got my 50th day in a row for creating content. 50 days in a row on HAPS. So I know I've created other videos on other platforms, but I put in 50 days straight on HAPS. So that's an accomplishment within itself. I went back because I was wondering how many videos I had put up. And then I got a number and it just seemed a little light because I was like, damn, that's just like a little bit more than a month. And I know I do a video, at least one video a day. So I've been on here for now 50 days. 50 days was today. I had to have felt like, why would I have gotten on if I didn't do a video? So I was feeling kind of strange. You are not part of HAPS. Okay. Okay, you are not part of HAPS. You came from Scope. Okay. What exactly is Scope? Is Scope is that another broadcasting platform? What is Scope? I'm just jumping off my topic. Y'all know how I do. I'll get right back on it. Periscope. Okay. So you're viewing the content through Periscope. So I appreciate that. I was just like, yeah, I've got to have more content up. If I was in the 40s, 46, 47, whatever day that was. I asked how many videos I had put up because I didn't know how to count them. So today I just scrolled back through my own profile and I have 70 videos. I was like, You know, I was recited 33, so I said I had 33 videos at 30. It just seemed a little light, but I've actually got 70. So, you know, 70 videos in 50 days just on this platform. You know, that doesn't include the little shorts, that doesn't include the IG videos, that doesn't include all the other stuff that I should pump all that shit through Habs, but you know, I don't have it set up to do it that way. I have no idea who this is. Okay, he doesn't watch my videos, so I'm not answering because they know if I don't answer to get on whatever platform they generally see me on, and if they see me there, and if it's an emergency, he'll call back. But I doubt he'll call back. It's not an emergency. I don't get offended when people don't watch the videos. Most people don't watch the videos. But when I'm in the middle of a video, unless it's some real important shit, I ain't picking up. So, Periscope is now gone. So where is my link going? When I set up the Periscope, what happened? Where happens to that link? Does it go to Twitter? Now I'm being nosy. What happened to Periscope? Because I just look at the check boxes of where it's sending, and Periscope is showing that it's that. Wow. Where did Periscope go? I was gonna get on there and check it out. Oh. Oh, when you said Periscope is gone, I figured that it was gone. Oh, I ain't got time for all that. I ain't got time for all that hacking. I'm old, Kimberly. You can see all this. I'm old. We doing good just being right here in a good space. We doing real good. And hopefully it's coming through clearly. I've been doing my best on the signals, doing the tweaking, and everybody that's been answering my questions. You know, I lead in like, look, I'm old. What am I doing here? I've reached out to several people. I don't have a problem with asking questions where all this stuff is concerned. You know, I come from the age where there was a microphone, a studio. I walked in, I started pressing buttons, putting in cards, putting in CDs. I don't know this real world like this, but I appreciate it. Here you go, coming here and fucking around. Look, man, I knew when I couldn't find my earpieces and I put the phone on speaker, it was a wrap. Actually, I did know that. You know, I think I'm a man of steel. I'm gonna be able to stay up all day, all night. But I knew it was a wrap. I laid down, it was over. I laid down and it was over. So appreciate you, Kimberly. Appreciate you stopping by. Freezing up some, but still good. Okay. I'm gonna keep an eye on this signal thing. And if it goes to good or poor, I'll move. But let me know. I need to know immediately if there's buffering, if there's loss of signal. That should happen like 2 minutes on that NAACP clip. And I had a couple people who told me about it, which was cool because it let me know that they were at least that deep into it. And but I don't need to have that type of longevity. And hell, you got my phone number. Just call, just text. I don't need to be sitting here, you know, because it ain't just us no more. You know, it ain't just us. Hell, we got Kimberly. We got Kimberly Hopeful, and hopefully she'll come back. But yeah, I got on here today to talk a little bit. You know, because locally it's funny to me, and it's funny sometimes I'm able to go back and glean to some of the words that my father spoke to me. He didn't talk to me a lot about a lot of this real shit because I was so young. He just probably felt like I couldn't take it, you know. And I mean, when life really got real, really where he started to decline and then he expired, you know. And being up out of here at 35, he was out of here, you know, when I was 35. Shit, man, that next 15 years, you know, really 16, you know, now has been totally different. And I try to look at it like, damn, he was here for my daughter's first 10 years, 1-9, 1-10, but then he wasn't really up and at him the way he needed to be, you know. And they didn't get a chance to spend a lot of time with him and really understand him, you know. So when I get to speak through him, I do so. And he told me that my biggest nemesis would come from home. He said you'll always be respected more when you leave. They don't know what they have when you're home. They don't know exactly who you are, even though they see you every day. But you go somewhere else, and people will appreciate you that much more. Enjoy that sun. You deserve it. You back up on your feet. You deserve it. I mean, you can just flip back a month and see where you were. Flip back 2 months and see where you were. Enjoy that sun. Enjoy those margaritas. Ain't nothing like reflecting. So yeah, he taught me that. You know, he taught me that, and he was a dichotomous man, I tell you, because he could do and say some great things. I mean, he did to me, but then he did some fucked up things too. So it's just really difficult to know that a man of that brilliance could just do some silly ass shit that he did. But you know, I've done some silly ass shit. I'm nowhere near on his level of brilliance though, but I've done some silly ass shit too. So, but I have conformed to the thought that I wasn't sent here to be liked. I wasn't sent here to be liked. I wasn't sent here even to be loved. I was sent here to help people. I was sent here to be a vessel, to be a voice, to be courageous. I mean, where people don't have the courage to say and do certain things, I have it, and I don't even know I have it. It just happens. And it doesn't make me any better than anybody else. It's just, you know, and it's crazy because I knew of the voice before I knew of anything. I might have knew of the courage, but you don't really know as a kid. But when my voice started to change and it sounded different than other people's voices, and I was able to exercise my voice, I mean, I literally called in sick for many a people, and I was their daddy for 3 minutes calling into the attendance office. It was none of that automated shit. You had to talk to a human back then, and I could be somebody's daddy at 14, 15, 16. Did it many a times. So I knew I had a voice of influence, but I didn't know what type of influence. I was using it ignorantly. Um, but also when it got into like playing sports, I was always the loudest one in sports. I was always the chatter guy in baseball, and I would get the team going. In football, getting people hyped up and everything, you know. In basketball, you don't do a lot of talking, but they did use me coming up to court to call the plays. I'd call the play out. We had a loud gym we were playing in. I had to have to call the play out because I had a voice that was different than the other kids' voices. So I was utilized for my voice on all levels. Hey man, people didn't want to go to school. They knew they couldn't get that excuse absence. So we had to do what we had to do. Crazy thing was, I personally couldn't even call in for myself because most of the schools knew my family. Everybody knew my dad didn't live with me. And even though my step lived with me, he didn't make no calls like that. My mom was it. She was on the emergency card, emergency contact my grandmother. So 2 women. Now you got a man calling in sick. I knew I couldn't even do it for myself. I couldn't even help myself out. So I tried to get slick in 9th grade and be like, Mom, why don't you put Floyd on the emergency card in case they got to call Floyd? Why would they have to call Floyd? She never figured out what I was trying to do. I just needed a man's name on the emergency card in case they looked at it like who would be calling. And then I could have said, this is Floyd Covington calling in for Shannon McFall, but I couldn't say it was Clarence McFall. Shit. Clarence lived in Atlanta. But it is what it is. Okay, that's not for me because I'm in the middle of this. That's a lot. It's a lot to read, and I can't read all that. So whoever's in the chat, y'all enjoy that. I can't do that right now. But just knowing who I am, and I have to give people the short answer sometimes. I have to tell people I don't give a fuck. I have to tell people, stop that silly shit, stop that clown shit. And all I'm trying to tell them to do, really, is to just be real about things. But once I tell you, and I've gone through at length with many people, many of these local, civic-minded, activist-type people, I've dealt with them on either a personal level or through people, and everybody pretty much knows which angle I'm coming from. But the main angle is no symbolism. Symbolism gets us nowhere. Symbolism gets us absolutely nowhere. Sister Kim, how you doing today? So I'm never on no symbolism shit. If you see me on some symbolism shit, it's got a real meaning behind it. I'm gonna do some symbolic shit today, and it's the play of the day. It's about Kwame. I didn't put him in the hashtags because I don't need to be clickbaiting people to think that I'm gonna be talking about Kwame all my video. He's not gonna be all my video, but where I'm at with Kwame is a totally different place than where most people are at with Kwame. Because I'm looking at some different shit that he's saying, and I'm like, wow, it's all good. Because right now, everybody's stuck in the celebrity of it all. Not only Kwame's celebrity, but the celebrities that he's going at, and he's sitting down and putting in their proper places. But I had to dig into that shit from the beginning and be like, damn, so Kwame just all of a sudden just started going YouTube on everybody? No. Kwame had been doing YouTube for 2 years. And if you've gone back and looked at any of his old videos, he's always been the same Kwame. He just ain't had the same topic. Brother B, what's happening with you? Mr. 2 Extra, I checked out a couple of your cast. You had the brother with the ponytail off the back and the other brother up in the corner. I believe he said he's in the Midwest from Illinois. I checked y'all out. Y'all did your little 4-way thing. I'd love to be a part of your panel one day. We want to get into talking about some politics and just what's going on in the overall world. Appreciate the donations. Appreciate them. If you got them Habs coins, you might as well put them in the atmosphere. I know people trying to hold on to them like they gonna be Bitcoins or something. I don't know what they're gonna turn into. I don't even know when we actually cash them in. I'm kind of ignorant on that. I just know that I'm having to get used to saying it because they pushing me towards that other level, and I'm really not trying to be there. I ain't trying to be like Umar. Donations, gifts. I don't know. I'm not looking at that. The content ain't for sale. You want to support the platform so we can do things out here. That's where we would need revenue, real revenue, real revenue. Because we're not just gonna come here. We're gonna go out and we're gonna attack businesses and corporations and different things like that and get that money. You know, reminds me when I was going to church, and I was trying to explain to the church. It's really difficult to talk to a pastor when he thinks he knows everything about God. See, if a pastor tells you he knows everything about God and the Bible and all that, you really can't tell that motherfucker nothing. You know, I like an educated pastor. I'm gonna talk to a pastor. I need to talk to an educated pastor. I don't need to talk to no street nigga. All right, I don't need to talk to no street nigga that used to be a salesman and he just said, you know what, I'm gonna flip this and get me a church. I don't need to talk to that nigga. Okay, so where I'm at, I was trying to tell them like Myers and Sam's Club and GFS and all these places would donate food and gift certificates for us to go get more food. If not food, utensils and this, that, and the other. I would tell them we can get all this stuff when we have these events. You tell them how many people you're going to have there. And then what you do when you have that event, then you have them come out and have a table. And then when they have a table, then they can sign people up on memberships. Hell, if they have a person come out and sign 5 people up on memberships at a discounted rate, they're not going to come out here and charge the people the same rate for membership that you charge if you go in Sam's or Costco or wherever. No, you have them come out and you give them a ridiculous rate, maybe even 50% off. Tell them you can get a Sam's Club membership for 50% off. You come out to the event. And they'll give you stuff to give away. They'll give you food so you can put it on your grills. They'll give you gift certificates or, vouchers and whatever. I don't think gift cards was really popping back then. This is like almost 10 years ago. And you had them, but you didn't have them. You didn't have them like when they want to just give them away like that. It was for specific shit. And he said no. He said no, he didn't want to do that. The Lord will provide. The Lord will provide. It was always that. Next thing I know, he's sending the sisters, he's sending the missionaries, he's sending all his slaves out to Walmart, Sam's Club, GFS, Myers, all the stores to get all them cards, to get all them certificates. Because they had all the legitimate shit. They had all the legitimate shit because he just gave them the church's folder, and that's legitimate. Yep, nonprofit, this, that, and the other. Oh, we'll give you shit because these big businesses don't want that smoke. They don't want to be the one store that didn't donate. Because once you go in and tell them, yeah, we got Sam's, we got this, you don't want to be the one motherfucker who didn't donate. So you can get them all. He told me no. Next thing I know, he's sending people out. How did I know? Because I saw one of the sisters in one of the stores. At that time, I was doing my own thing, little catering, this, that, and the other. So I'd have to go to these places. And I was out there and I'm like, oh, okay, they shop at the same place, this, that, and the other. Well, because I was so deeply connected in this church, I knew where shit came from. And I started to see like, oh, okay, they getting this, that, and the other. Loose lips sink ships. Too many of the sisters love to get in there and just pop their gums. They start talking about how Pastor was getting all this free shit. Free shit. And he really wasn't getting free shit. He was getting donations from these different places and telling them about the events that he was having. But the events were actually just regular church events. I was talking about the magnanimous events, the carnival and shit like that I helped him set up. But no, he was on some different shit. He was just trying to get something free for nothing. Not free for service, free for nothing. But it is what it is. Yeah, today I'm not here, I'm not here for anything other than to tell y'all the truth. And the truth is, I wasn't sent here to be liked. Sister Kim, thank you for your support. Y'all coming through ridiculously. We ain't even a half an hour in. Every donation is an oar in the water. And the oar in the water, we can keep moving. We can keep moving. Now, that's a sick-ass car. Yeah, that looks like some shit like Jonathan Hart would drive. I've been on that. I gotta find out if they have that shit streaming, Heart to Heart. That was my show. So yesterday they had a march, and I don't march. I don't do the protest thing, publicly like that. Um, and it was to honor, George Floyd, and I don't even know the other people that they talked about. I didn't view it live. I didn't attend it. I haven't watched any playback, so I don't know the other people that they spoke about. I paid more attention this week because of it being the year to the day 2 days ago for George Floyd. I paid more attention to our local detrimental situation that we had here several years ago. We had a black woman murdered in her home, and there's never been any real closure about that. And I've been talking to some local politicals, trying to move it up the ladder, but it seems like everybody doesn't want to fuck with the mayor. It seems like nobody wants to fuck with the mayor. And I don't know what the mayor has on the city of Ann Arbor, but it's time to pull all that out. Looks like we're going to start opening up. These city council meetings will be public meetings again. When you have public meetings, you have public commentary. And I think it's time to put the fucking pressure on Mayor Christopher Taylor in the city of Ann Arbor. We need to talk about Ara Ross's death. We need to talk about her death. We need to talk about her killing. We also need to talk about mental health. We need to talk about substance abuse. We need to talk about all that shit. But see, because they don't want to talk about the murder of Ara Rosser, all the other stuff gets swept up under the rug. Well, I know everybody was looking at 3957 Chicago Ave in Minneapolis, Minnesota. I was looking at 2083 Winewood Ave in Ann Arbor, Michigan. That's what I was looking at. Two different addresses, two different murders, two different police departments. I don't care about all the other bullshit. The protests, the marches, and I'm not sure we're commemorating, we're celebrating, we're anniversarying the fucking murder of a man, of a woman. Are you serious? Why are we there? What is there to celebrate? What is there to commemorate? How many more times can we say Black Lives Matter? Speaking of Black Lives Matter, let me just deviate real quick, just so you can really see where I've been. So, my grandson's about to start playing basketball. That's a beautiful thing. I watched something today, man, and I'm really trying to just stay away from the personalities of these politicians, because that's when I get emotional, and I don't need to get emotional. I'll always be excitable, but I don't need to be emotional. What I need to be is focused. And I listened to Nancy Pelosi speak today. I don't know if anybody else listened to her speak, but I listened to her speak today. And she was a tad bit, to me, I think pretty much anything a Democrat does now is pandering. But she was just a tad bit off today. And I don't know if it's the nervousness of what's all going on and old age or whatever is getting to her. I just think there just needs to be a total revamping. Hell, I even think there needs to be age requirements in politics. I just don't believe you can be a certain age and still really be with it. I just don't. Hell, I know I'd probably think about things a lot differently as a 41-year-old man today or a 31-year-old man today, but because I'm 51, I still have them old school values, and I'm not going to conform to any of this new shit. But well, how did that man sacrifice his life? He didn't sacrifice his life. He went into the store to get some cigarettes. He wasn't sacrificing his life. Other than the fact that he smoked cigarettes, maybe that was a sacrifice. But George Floyd did not sacrifice his life so we can live so graciously. When they say he sacrificed his life, it's almost like they're talking about Jesus. Some other shit that I haven't seen proven, but I'm not going to go there today. The motherfuckers who generally say that shit, that he sacrificed his life, yeah, they're Bible thumpers. And like I told them, go get them books that they took out of the book, put them back in, and then tell me to read that motherfucker, and then tell me to believe. You got to understand that slavery didn't do shit good for black people. Being enslaved was not a good thing for us. It wasn't meant to be good. They wanted to make every single one of our days miserable. They owned us. So why would they do something good for us by giving us the Bible? That's all I have to ask. There's no enslaver out there who meant us any good, or he wouldn't have owned us. He wouldn't have owned us. No master would have been around. But since they did own us, and that's just bad within itself, all the other stuff that came behind it, now you got to think like, oh, so they're giving us the Bible. That was supposed to be good for us. We out there singing in the fields and doing all that stuff. Who are we singing to then? Because I know we start praying to God and start singing to the Lord and this, that, and the other once we got our hands on the Bible. But who was we praying to before? Because maybe we need to go back to praying to who we prayed to before the Bible got dropped on us. For real. For real. If 65 is the retirement age in the United States of Michigan, United States of America, how the fuck you get to run for president in 78? 75? Shit. You supposed to be retired, motherfucker. Let me just I know I'm gonna have a couple Democrats that's gonna listen. You know, out of the 18 people that's gonna see this video, I'm gonna have at least 9 Democrats. But this is what Nancy Pelosi said at the end of her press conference in Northern California at the Stop Asian Hate presser. And I always say, our ancestors bled and were beaten and murdered for us to get our civil rights. And now everybody else is eating off that bag. Everybody eats off the civil rights bag. They just turn it into something of their own. You know, when gay people was looking for civil rights, oh, wait a minute, I thought we already had civil rights. All they did was white it out black people and put in gay people. Now you've got that with Latinos. Now you've got that with Asians. Everybody's got their own civil rights bill. Everybody's got their own civil rights bill. My signal dip. Did I dip? Okay, so it's still there. If you answered that quick, that means you right behind it. So maybe we're getting close to 6 o'clock. They might be turning towers or something like that. I know there's reasons at certain times why my signal drops. When if it drops right around the top of the hour, it's generally signals changing for radio towers, and I don't know if cell towers actually have to be calibrated, but it happens a lot right around the top of the hour. If I'm in the car, if I'm inside, it don't matter. It's not, the signal's different. But she said something today that you could have easily taken out Asian and putting in black. And once again, this is not to degrade Asians. This is not to downplay anything that has happened to them for the last 300 plus days during this pandemic. Absolutely not. But they wouldn't be able to conform the ideology, how to put together a anti-hate bill if they ain't had the motherfucking blueprints of anti-lynching bills or the civil rights bill, because this Asian bill is speaking on specificity for Asians. It ain't got nothing to do with Black Americans, white Americans, or any other Americans. It's speaking specifically for Asians, Asian Americans. Hold on a sec. Let me get to the. Oh, okay, it's right here. Here we go. Hold on. That these are community-based solutions, again, that have. So if we're trying to do outreach, better to come from these community groups, that these are community-based solutions, again, that have trust that has been built over time, personal relationships, but also on the ongoing for the organizations. We really cannot do it effectively without that. That's central to it. And if there are no other questions, I thank you so much for being here. Again, it affords me the opportunity once again be in Chinatown. I love going to Japantown, just recognizing, as you mentioned, the beautiful, beautiful diversity of the Asian Pacific community in San Francisco, a source of inspiration to us. And again, solutions that are of national significance. Thank you all very much. As we go into Memorial Day, let us recognize all who fought so hard for the freedom in our country. And we owe them, for the sacrifices they made, we owe them a country worthy of their sacrifice. And that is a country that is free of all of these hate crimes. Thank you so much. Okay. So what she did was she talked about Chinatown. She talked about Japanese town. This goes back to Dr. Claude. Where in America is there an African town? Okay, so we'll get off that. Then she talked about the hate in this country, because it's the anti-hate bill, the systemic hate and racism in this country. When the president said, this is not a racist country, and the vice president said, this is not a racist country, and the top Black Republican said, this is not a racist country. Now, who is she to say that this country is racist? Because that's what she just said. She not only said it was racist against Asians, she said it was racist. But she not only said it was racist, she also said that it was prejudiced. If you listened close, she talked about honoring the veterans who have lost their lives. Been many, 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 many black veterans that have lost their lives. Yeah, they're never talked about. I don't know how many Asians have fought in the world wars that we've had, but I do remember us going to attack some Asian territories. So the same Asian people that we trying to protect now, what happened when y'all was bombing their territory? You know, this is kind of a weird situation. Y'all want to be good to Asians after y'all been bombing them for how many fucking years? It's some really weird language. When you see America just try to get all right with Asians now, but bomb the fuck out of them. I mean, we fought with Asia for how long? And lost how many thousands of lives? But now we need to protect the Asians, and I'm not saying we don't need to. And we need to do this. I mean, they got $50 million in grants. Just a stroke of a pen. Stroke of a pen. Now, this wasn't concentrate camp money. This was anti-hate bill money. 50 million. They just cut a check. 49 and I think it was 49.7, something like that. 50 million. I don't know how they come up with the figures. I just know they came up with the figures. 50 million? If Asians can get 50 million and they get an anti-hate bill, what can black Americans get for 402 years? 402 years. We go back from 1619 to 2021. What can we get? 246 years of slavery, 157 years. What can we get? I need to know. Because Asians got a bill passed in less than 30 days. And we still got lynching bills. They probably just throw the bill away. They probably got to redo the whole bill. When they know they're not going to pass it, they just probably throw the shit away and make them redraft a new one. There's no respect on lynching bills for black Americans. None. So, yeah, that was Nancy. When I called Benz. She looks to be about 45 years old. 45, 50. She either came from money or she did really, really good at something early on. Oh, she could have married well. She could have married well. I forget that. Sometimes you don't have to do shit. You just got to marry well. Yeah, it's bullshit. I didn't see that first one. This is true. But what I don't understand, because I'm not saying that no one doesn't need anything. This is not about that. See, you're never going to see me jumping on somebody else's shit saying, oh, they don't need this. They don't deserve that. Because I don't want the motherfuckers coming on our side talking about, oh, they don't need this. They don't deserve it. That's why I said we stop every action, every single action. Anytime we see a group talk against us and reparations, restorative justice, anything, you see a foreigner, and I'm saying it, foreigner, start talking that shit about what we don't need, we need to stop that in their tracks right now. That's one thing. Then, if they're of a faction of people that do a whole lot of business in certain fields, we need to stop fucking going to their business and say why. and say why. Hell, we want to be consistent, but we ain't even consistent with ourselves. We ain't even consistent with ourselves. Black women steady getting brutalized, beat up in beauty supply stores, getting cussed out in the nail stores, but they still go to them. Maybe they do the best nails. I don't know. I know they got they. I talked to a black beauty supply owner on the cast, and she told me they got the business because they got all the products. That's real shit. There's certain products that certain black beauty supply stores will never ever get. They won't get it. Those vendors will not sell to them. And if they're told to sell to a black beauty supply store, they'll freeze them out. So I understand why black beauty supply stores don't have the inventory. I totally get that. But that's why they should have formed a black beauty supply coalition. Run y'all money together and say, look, we got the buying power of that store over there. It's 5 of us, but we buying the same amount of product as that store. Are we worth losing? Because if we're worth losing, okay, we'll all stop doing business with you. Then you go to the next distributor. They ain't gonna want to lose it. Don't nobody want to lose all that money. Because there's certain products you can get from anybody. But that good hair, there's this, that, and the other. You know, they call it good hair. Okay, I get it. I thought the good hair came out your follicles, but the good hair, you can't really get the good hair unless you get with them big Asian and Indian distributors, and some of them won't sell to you if you are a black store because you cutting in on their big clients' business. So they just try to starve you out of the market. Hopefully the signal's sitting in right still. What's wrong with it, Sister Kim? Why do you feel like we can't come together? Why do you feel like we can't put it together, put a good political movement together? You know, I mean, we're a bit scattered out here tonight. That's why I said I want to sit in and get in the chat room tonight on the BTP cast. See what everybody's talking about. See where it's popping right now. I think them brothers got a lot of knowledge. A lot of knowledge. They done did a lot of reading, a lot of studying, a lot of living. Been in and out of politics, been in and out of the streets. They know what's happening out here. Family men, real men. They family men. Uh-oh, they go AKA, they go Kamala fan. They go Kamala fan. Yes. Who she got in North Carolina? Yeah, she goes to Michigan or went to Michigan, got a North Carolina license plate, and she's an AKA. Yeah. She boule bourgeoisie like a motherfucker. Yeah. Cool, cool. So I've gotten bitten by the bug just like everybody else has. And I've watched, I don't know how many videos I'm in on Kwame now. And I'm not just watching it because he pretty much has the same content for Charlemagne and Steven Jackson, Stephen A, and Matt Barnes. He pretty much has the same dialogue for them. Shit's funny as hell. I'm going to keep laughing because it's funny to me. And they should have shut the fuck up before they started talking. That's the way I look at it. They should have shut the fuck up before they started talking. But since they didn't, now they getting that mama's cooking. They getting mama's cooking. So I went back and listened to some old videos. Because the new ones, like I said, you know, they're pretty much coming pretty goddamn regularly. But what I've needed is to really know where he was coming from. Not just with this, but where, because I never heard Kwame talk up until this time. I really don't remember the brother ever speaking during this time. And Kwame played in Detroit for a minute, but by then, you know, that was when they was really trying to implode that team. It was after the championship years, you know, and they was really trying to implode that team. So, you know, we got Kwame. He was in his prime of his life, man, but he had already went through a couple assholiness situations. So I caught some audio on one of his videos, and I gotta get to YouTube because it's gonna have, I don't know if the algorithm picks it up, but somehow he's able to start telling now who puts his shit in here. I just didn't put him in the hashtag because I wasn't trying to clickbait him or put him in the caption because I wasn't trying to clickbait on anything. But this is really where I want to see him expand his base, his platform. Because I believe if Kwame can get, I mean, he getting 500,000. He getting 500,000 views in a day. He had like 489 in like 12 hours a couple days ago. His shit's gonna start hitting 1 million no matter what. If he's touching 1 million people, every video, if we can get him to stay some shit out here on the real side with the politics shit. But see, somebody gonna come at him stupid. And it'll piss him off and he won't want to do nothing. Just like Ice Cube. Where's Ice Cube now, y'all? Where's Ice Cube now? Enough black people probably beat Ice Cube right back into Hollywood. And Ice Cube might not come back out. I couldn't believe all the people that was against Ice Cube. It was dumb. He met with Trump's people. Now where they at? And where's Cube at? I know they said they was going to have a meeting. Him and Biden was going to have a meeting, but where's that meeting at? How can the meeting didn't happen in the first 100 days? How come the meeting hasn't happened now? Biden going around, he going to every bus station, train station, airports, auto plants. Biden got a lot of fucking time. He can meet Cube in one of these territories and talk about the contract with Black America, reparations, restorative justice, you know, what his take of the George Floyd policing bill, qualified immunity. I believe we absolutely could, Free. I believe we absolutely could. But see, they don't have to come at Kwame strong and not be on no fuck shit. He's already shown people he don't need nobody's money. He's definitely not clout chasing, or he could have been doing this type of shit long ago. He could have just picked on people, you know, whatever. Whether they talk shit about him, just anybody, because he seems to be against anybody that talks shit about anybody. He just had to put somebody in their place about talking about his gay cousin. He's like, you know what? I should just tell my cousin that my cousin come over and beat your ass. And he gay. So he's with the shits all the way around. He's with the shits all the way around. But let me let you listen to this audio. My grandson is just, ugh. That boy. All right, sorry, y'all. Let me get to my. Where's this audio? Oh, I recorded it. So it's a few minutes long, but just listen to the way he comes off as a solid man, not mama's cooking, none of that shit. Just listen to where he comes off. About 3 minutes long.
People asking me, well, what does she do for the community? No, she ain't got to do a motherfucking thing for the community. I'm sure she have programs where she's helping out, but she ain't got to do a damn thing. The people who's receiving all that money into Baltimore to revitalize those areas, and they've been getting money year after year after year, those are the people that got to answer for why it's trash next to where people living at. Those are the people that got to answer to why it's rats running all over Baltimore. Instead of making people from Baltimore feel like Trump said something racist, no, like, nigga, it's literally rats running around the goddamn street. So it's like, it's more and more bullshit just to get people upset. It's like, this shit don't make no sense. It really don't make no sense that we as a people now, we only want virtue signaling. We only want a kind fucking word. You know, they let them boys put Black Lives Matter on the court when they were in a fucking bubble where people couldn't go to the game anyway. Let me show you how they trick you, little dumbass. Excuse me, no offense. This is my opinion. I think this shit is dumb. You're in a bubble where fans can't come anyway. You put Black Lives Matter on the court. People respond to that. They don't show up to the game. Oh, guess what they're going to do now? They're taking Black Lives Matter off the fucking court. Not to say it should have been there in the first damn place, because we all know Black Lives Matter. Everybody's life matters. But the fact that you put that shit on the court and take away half of your base and say you don't even want them in there, but they're proving to you players that you don't have the power that you think, because it would have made me feel like, okay, y'all were actually doing something if you did it where fans can actually confront you and be in the same. That's when you would have showed me that you're trying to do something. Don't hide in Orlando in no goddamn bubble where people can't come anyway, and now your ass got to get up. Adam Silver said that shit over with. That shit over with. We ain't in the bubble no goddamn more. Fans gonna be able to throw something at y'all ass. We ain't.
So I want to stop it there. Got about another minute and a half to go. He's right. It made no sense for them to put Black Lives Matter on the court. There's no fans coming to the game. Fans might have watched the game on TV. And if you notice, the Black Lives Matter that was on the court, it was in the perfect angle for you to see it whenever anybody was on offense. So you always saw Black Lives Matter. Then they had the BLM, whatever, on the shirts or whatever. It was all symbolism. Because they wasn't making any of their racist, bigoted, trashy-ass fans really see it. Because people were starting to not watch the games because of the taking the knees, because of the protesting. So they knew ratings were going to be way down. But they was going to be able to please the niggas. We'll please the niggas by doing a Black Lives Matter thing. Let them act like they're going to postpone a couple games, cancel games. We ain't going to cancel them. We just going to postpone them. They didn't play one game one day and played the very next day. What kind of protest is that? We're not playing tonight. Oh, okay. But we'll play tomorrow night. What the fuck, man? That's symbolism. I don't feel like playing tonight. Oh, all right. Can we reschedule it to tomorrow? Yeah, I'm good. Are you fucking kidding me? So I stopped it right there because he said, yeah, bubble's over. Y'all got to get back out there, because y'all got to get back out there. People can throw shit at you. Throw shit at you. I don't know if you've seen over the last couple of days a couple of bona fide NBA stars. One a new one is an established one. Russell Westbrook is an established NBA star. Okay? He got a bucket of popcorn thrown at him by a fan. So they're just going to ban the fan from coming to any games at that arena anymore. That's a crime. That's assault. He needs to be put in bracelets, arrested, booked, mugshot, trial, sentence. No banning from an arena. No banning from How do you ban someone from an arena for assaulting a man, walking into the locker room, minding his own business? Because if Russell Westbrook takes such offense to that and runs up in the crowd, a la Malice at the Palace, a la Steven Jackson. I mean, Steven Jackson was a really, really good ball player. But a lot of people know Steven Jackson from the Malice in the Palace. Many people know him from the Malice in the Palace. Then they go back and look at his basketball stats. He got famous. He got famous for two-piecing them fans. I mean, he was already a very, very popular ball player, but he got famous from his participation in the Malice at the Palace. Yeah, he put it on a fan or two. So I stopped it there because Russell Westbrook just got hit with a bucket of popcorn, but young Trae Young, that didn't come out the way it was supposed to, but young Trae Young sounds like a little Asian boxer in the Olympics. What the fuck is he doing? It's about to be some fuck shit here. Wow. They had a bag of trash and they just threw it over into a cart. The shit missed and hit the next car over. And that person's loading their shit. I'd love to be over there listening to that conversation. Because it looked like trash. I mean, they're throwing it away. So it's some type of something, maybe something they just bought. But it bounced and hit the car and that person looks sober. Wow. So Trae Young, he got spat on by a fan. He got spat on. He didn't get popcorn thrown on him. Now, no movie theater butter here. This was bigot butter. This was 100% bigot butter. Somebody spat on an NBA player in the middle of a game. Actually, I don't know if he was walking to the locker room. The picture they show of him, he's standing on the sideline. So I don't know if he got spat on right then or right after that, or if he was walking in the locker room. So I don't want to be false in that. But he got spat on. He got spat on by a bigot. You gotta be a bigot to spit on somebody. You know, I don't know very many black men that spit on people. Greg Mathis spat on the valet down at Floods. That's why I'm off his ass. I don't fuck with Greg Mathis no more. He don't care. He got a lot of money. He got a Bentley. He don't care. But yeah, I had to stop fucking with people on principle. Motherfucker, you got a Bentley. And a black man is protecting your car while you go in and have several cocktails and look at fat asses in leggings and sundresses. And when he pulls your car up, you spit in his face? Nah, dog, I can't fuck with you. You don't know what he might have put your shit in a perfect spot like, yeah, this Judge Mathis car, man, we don't want nobody to get close to this. He probably took care of your shit like even extra special, thinking you was going to give him an extra tip. And boy, was he right. You gave him something extra. Gave him an extra tip. Spat in the man's face. I was a valet for a few hotels, many different places. I would go get people's cars, and you know, one lady, she would always come in, and she never liked going down to the MGO Blue car wash. I'd go get her car wash, and would just floss. Just floss. She had an Audi 5000. Remember them Audi 5000s? And she hated going down there because it was really narrow to get into the car wash. So I would take her shit down there. He talking about a 21-year-old man in an Audi 5000. I'm in a suit, so I got the valet shit on. So I'm driving. I look crazy because I was professional about my shit. I was professional. Come out the parking lot, go up State Street. Back then, you had to still turn right on Liberty. Go down to Liberty, go to Fifth, go all the way down Fifth, go down the hill. Went straight there. Then when I got that bitch cleaned up, then I took the long way home. She didn't know. She'd give me her car and go sleep, go shower, whatever, and get ready, but I would have her keys and anything. So it wasn't like, I was under time constraints. I would just tell her I'd go when I got a chance. So I could be gone with her car for an hour. She wouldn't know. But yeah. I had disagreements. I had some all-out arguments with people. They've been drinking, drugging, doing whatever. As a valet, nobody ever spat in my face. Nobody ever spat in my face. I had old white men, tall motherfuckers. They look down on me and shit. I ain't a tall motherfucker. So, they'd look down on me. I'd be like, this motherfucker like swings on me or spits in my face or something. I mean, I'm gonna have to do something. They would never do that. They would just talk shit. But because I had good verbal skills, I could talk shit right back with them. And I had the utmost respect for my supervisors, so I always made sure I did shit right because they took care of me. There ain't too many motherfuckers that can say when they went to jail, the owner of the place that they worked at came to court. The owner came in and sat next to my grandmother in court. It was like, whatever you need to get him out, we got it. It didn't really need none. I just needed to come to court because the motherfucking probation officer was on some fuck shit. Didn't need no money. But he said it. He was like, whatever he needs to get out, we've got it. They had made that decision. I hadn't talked to nobody from the hotel. The only person that had talked to somebody from the hotel was my mom. Told him what the situation was. I told her who to ask for because the girl I was going with, she went back and told him, all she told was I was in jail. And like, he didn't know for what, this, that, and the other. Yeah. She wasn't the brightest light bulb in the marquee, I'll admit. But I sent her back with a specific message, and she couldn't get it right. So I had to have my mom call, let him know, whatever. And they showed up to court. Yeah. Yep. He really did spit on him. Documented. He did spit on him. But let's listen to the end of this thing with Kwame, and then you really get where he's at. Because these NBA players, they wore the shirts, Black Lives Matter. It was on the court, Black Lives Matter. Millions of dollars was donated by NBA players and NBA, the organization. Black Lives Matter. Just 2 days past a year of George Floyd being killed, a black man has been spat on. Spat on during a pandemic. What if that motherfucker's not vaccinated? And if you spit on anybody, I think that is a crime. If I'm not mistaken, I believe spitting on someone is a crime. I may stand corrected on that.
We ain't gonna let y'all do that no more. Get y'all ass up. So it's like, damn, all we want is somebody to make us feel good. I think there was a brother, what's this guy name that's running against Maxine Waters out there in California? Damn it, I posted it, but I'm sorry, brother, I forgot your name. But military vet from the neighborhood, lives in his district. Maxine lives out $6 million house. California is fucked to the up. People are moving out left and right. Homeless is going crazy. And, all she talks about is Orange Man Bad. All she does is rally up the church going black women and say all kind of lines that don't make no goddamn sense. It's Joe Collins, that's who it is. Thank you. You saying all this emotional shit that don't make sense. And we gonna build more projects. Who the fuck want to live in the goddamn projects while you live? Bring your candy ass to the project. Get out that $6 million house and bring your ass to the project. Nobody don't want to live in no goddamn project. And just saying that shit, and then our people, yeah. Like, what the fuck is this bullshit? At this point, it's like, damn. I almost feel sorry for the majority of us. It's like, man, Harriet Tubman words has never made so much sense to me now. Now that I wake up and I can hear the truth and I can see the truth, Harriet Tubman said she could have freed 1,000 more people if they knew they were slaves. Thousands more. Thousands. Just imagine. People are giving you information. We have stats and facts. Not nothing we heard. Facts of what Donald Trump has done for the community, has done for all of America. We have stats. You can look it up.
And this is where I think a couple people have an issue with him, because he looked at the positive things that Donald Trump did while he was in office, HBCU stuff and some other things, and he spoke on those. And he was like, and didn't nobody ask Trump to do those things. He just did it because he was trying to get reelected. He was trying to get, pander for some black votes. But then we didn't stand up to him because everybody black basically avoided Donald Trump all 4 years. They would only come at him on some symbolic shit. If Donald Trump said something about DACA, said something about, if he just said some racist shit, then all the black politicians would, but Donald Trump really didn't get out there and talk en masse about black people. He talked more about immigrants and illegals and DACA and all the other stuff. When he talked about black people, shit, he generally talking about Barack Obama. He talked about Barack Obama more than he talked about anybody. Oh, it's already in the memory bank. Fuck to the up. I had to backspace that a couple times. Did he say fuck to the up? Love it. So, I mean, I'm always going to commend a politician if they do something positive. I don't give a fuck what party you are. If they do something positive that's beneficial to the collective, I'll commend you. I don't give a fuck what party you're a part of. And I think that's the way Kwame sees things. But as a Democrat, you can't look at no positive shit that he may have did because you're just against him because you're just against him. And everything that he may do positive, no matter what. But you got to start somewhere. And don't not accept what he puts out there and then want to send your kid to an HBCU. So you get mad at him, and the shit that he did for HBCUs may help your child go to school, but you're not gonna say, hey, you know what? Give Trump credit for that. Because the shit was over and it ran out. Some shit that Barack did. Barack should have put it in place for 40 years, not 10 years. But he didn't give a fuck. He'd be out of Dodge in 10 years. That's why he did it the way he did it. Yesterday on the Sam Riddle call in. Figured out how to take that audio and get that audio over to the thing. My audio was fucked up because I had my earpieces in. I should have went straight phone to the ear, but I had my headset in. That's why I was foggy. I said, why am I foggy? And Sam is so clear. And I definitely got to talk to that councilwoman, Sandra Watley. I got to talk to her and have her spit. I'm going to go back to Sam's interview with her. There's a clip that I want out of that shit. She's talking about reparations full throated. I got to put that up. I got to put that up because it's deep. It's deep as fuck. But yeah, Kwame is like, he's one of them cats, man. I believe his platform can be utilized in a fashion to really galvanize some people, you know. But I've thought certain things about some of this political stuff, and it's weird because there's so much of it that moves through the internet. And frankly, some of these internet motherfuckers are just weird. You know, I come from the chest to chest world. You know, let's sit down, let's talk about some shit. But this internet shit is weird. The way people construct business, you know, on Twitter, and then it goes over to here, and they go, you know, and then say, oh, you didn't see that, you know, it was on Twitter. I'm like, come on, man. Y'all should be able to talk all this out. And that's why now everybody's doing the multi-streams where you start bringing in different people. That's still not sitting down. And I know we just coming out of the pandemic and motherfuckers weren't really able to sit down collectively. But now I think we need to start getting back together and figuring this shit out. And stop worrying about, oh, we got this, we got that, because that's how we get compromised out here. If history hasn't shown us anything, once we start popping up and worrying about whether we got a chapter here, chapter here, chapter there, compromised. Hell, I talked about the NAACP a couple days ago. I believe the NAACP was compromised because they wanted to put branches everywhere. And sooner or later, you're going to get some people that's going to be in there and be like, I'd like to join the NAACP. Okay. But they ain't black. And they ain't really joining for the advancement of colored people. They joining to watch. They joining to learn. They joining so they can take it back to their collective of people and do the shit their way. Absolutely. Absolutely. They need their comeuppance in this. And I'm like, there is no comeuppance if the black people don't get what we're supposed to get. But everybody always got to be the man. The man, they got to be that when we have nothing. Worry about being the man when we got our shit, when we solve it. Then you can go up and do whatever you want to do. But until then, you are not the man because we're not our own man. So it says I'm off of Haps. The Haps close out. Anybody still here on Haps? I'm still showing a great signal. No, I don't know what the no is. I'm not on Haps. What are you viewing it from? Has this stream been sketchy? So I know they're going to be doing a lot of symbolic shit over the next week to two, going into the month of June. Then you've got Juneteenth coming up. I'd like to go to that Juneteenth celebration. I forgot exactly where it's at, but I know I'm going to go to one of them. I tried to call an organizer about vendor space. They never called back. You know, it's really, I have a hard time with people. This is another one of those things that people want to try to control everything. And then it could be somebody that, I don't know, maybe they don't want to fuck with me, and I'm good with that. I just wanted to know. It could be somebody that doesn't want to fuck with me. And I was just trying to send them some vendors. I knew some people that did food and all kinds of stuff. Wasn't necessarily even me. If I come down there, I don't need to set up a booth. I can move what I move without a booth. So, anyway, must be like shift change. It's a whole ton of people just coming up at 6:45. It's weird. I don't know if you saw that San Jose thing. A lot of those people, maybe that's just the territory it's in. A lot of those people had, you know, names that were from other territories. What was this? Some type of racial hit? Did he pick on, like, you know, immigrants or people that he may have thought were immigrants? Because there was a lot of them, and like I said, it could have just been that part of California where it's just densely populated. Are they going to string this up to be a hate crime? I don't know. But I guess he's dead. He had been with the company for a long time, too. So he built up some hate over the years. See, my thing is, if you had a job for a long time and you like that kind of job, but you getting hell here, look for another job like that. Don't go to work and go kill 9 people. Get your ass out of there and go find you another job. Because if your, you know, goal is just to go shoot up a bunch of people, then kill yourself, you should just stay at home. Either work it out, get a job, or just stay at home and just kill yourself. Cut to the chase, buddy. Nobody else needs to lose their life because you're fucked up out here. You go into work and check out 9 people. And people weren't bothering you, and people ain't did nothing to you. I don't have any sympathy for this at all. None. It's a nice Cadillac. It's a new CTS, okay. They sleeked that out nicely. It's officially made that first one the worst one. But we'll see how this plays out. I don't even know what the shooter was. Does anybody know if the shooter was black or white? I haven't heard. Some real hate shit. So I'm trying to figure out, with all these events that are coming up, if there's going to be like a gathering of real politically minded people, or if it's just going to be more symbolism fest. I mean, we've got the 100-year anniversary of the Tulsa Massacre. The 100-year anniversary. of the Tulsa Massacre. And see, I understand, sis, that this is another mass shooting, another massacre. We've got 100-year, and all I'm seeing right now is the 100-year anniversary of the Tulsa Massacre, because we could seriously have a great reparations discussion about the Tulsa Massacre and what black people lost in just that town. You think about it. Here. What black people lost during the Tulsa Massacre. The commercial section of Greenwood was totally destroyed. Leveled. Over 190 businesses were lost. These are black businesses. A junior high school. All black kids went to this school. Several churches. All black ministries. And the only hospital in the district. Now, I don't know what that really means if there wasn't a white hospital, but it says the only hospital in the district. This is where all the black people had to go for medical treatment. The Red Cross reported that over 1,200 homes were totally burned out, and another 200 plus were looted, but not burned. So those people, you said you had 191 businesses, 215 homes looted. Huh? Could it have been those business owners? What they do, go get the business records and all the stuff from the business owners? I tie really shit. Okay, wait a minute. Signal's really bad? Oh, I think y'all talking to each other. Okay. The Tulsa Real Estate Exchange property losses amounted to 1.5 million in real estate and 750,000 in personal property, equivalent to $33 million today. $33 million today. So the survivors of the Tulsa Massacre should get $33 million and be able to split that up. Any provable survivor of the Tulsa Massacre should get a part of $33 million. This is not their reparations. This is what their family lost 100 years ago. Run that. You got to stop Asian hate. We got to stop Tulsa Massacre hate. You subsidize the Asian community with $50 million. Subsidize the Tulsa Massacre survivors. What's right is right. And I went back and looked at my old Facebook page, and there were some pictures on there. Run it. Run it and let her, because she's still pretty fluid. I heard her talking. Let her figure out what she wants to do with it. Run it. Run off 33 right to her. I thought there were two. I thought they talked to somebody else that was like 100 plus two. Maybe it was just the one. Oh my God, this car has big lashes on it. They doing that now? I mean, there was lashes on like the headlights. They were like, it was like that. That's what's going on. I guess I don't look at a lot of people's headlights. Okay. All right. Yeah, because maybe because it's sunny down here all the time, bad weather up here, so maybe I just it's coming into the season and yeah, okay. But yeah, I look back at some old pictures, a couple old posts, and I was like, wow. Um, Sorry, I just caught the text. So this Ronald Green thing has bothered me. And now they're talking about that there may be some charges that might get brought against the. I'm not sure how there may could be anything when we know that they killed this man. We've seen it on video now. We know how he died. He died at the hands of these race soldiers with badges and guns. How could there maybe what y'all talking about? Tell you, man, them lashes was like that. Talking about maybe there could be some charges brought against these clowns. They killed this man. They got him on body cam talking about I beat the fucking hell out of him. Bragging about it. And mother's like, man, you still got your body cam on? And then click. Uh-oh. I took the thing out because I didn't want it to overheat. Now it looks like I gotta put the battery thing back in there. Sorry about that. Didn't see which one. You didn't hear him talking about how he beat him? You didn't hear that audio? It's crazy. Yeah. I'll send you the link when I get out of here. I forgot which video I watched it on. I'll send it. 2 years. This happened 2 years ago. A year before George Floyd. George Floyd is now the poster child for police killings. Ronald Green is it Ronald or Robert? I thought it was Ronald. I see Robert. I thought it was Ronald. Sorry about that if it is Robert. Brother Green happened a year before George Floyd. The way they beat him, do you think the world would have acted the same way had Brother Green's death been filmed the way George Floyd's death was filmed, and we would have been able to watch it in real time like that? Because it happened a year before. It happened a year before. A year before, man. I mean, everybody's on the George Floyd tip, but could we be talking about Brother Green? We're talking about Brother Floyd, but could we be talking about Brother Green? Because it happened a year before. See, if they take care of business and they arrest and they try and they convict first degree premeditated murder and they go to prison and life in prison, Derek Chauvin doesn't kill George Floyd a year later. Derek Chauvin wouldn't have had the balls after seeing however many race soldiers with badges that were down in Louisiana that killed Ronald Green, Brother Green. Got to make sure his name is Ronald. I think I've been saying Ronald. So I don't like, because I don't like nobody to call me by the wrong name, and I definitely don't want to be calling the dead by the wrong name. That's disrespectful. So, Brother Green, till I find out further. So, his death happens a year earlier, and they try, convict, and sentence properly, life in prison, possibly death penalty, down in Louisiana, then we're good. Because George Floyd wouldn't have got that. You take qualified immunity out of all this. Because they've been setting up for qualified immunity, they're trying to say that he was crazy because he was drugged up. He was acting wild. He was mad. They had to subdue him. I don't know if that brother did drugs that night. I don't know if he drank alcohol that night. I don't know what he did. But you told his family that he died in a car accident. So whatever he did do is not admissible. See, I'm not a lawyer. I ain't been to nobody's law school. I don't watch a lot of law shows though. And I know when some evidence is not admissible. And the way I see it, you called his family and it went down, his death went down as a car accident. That's what you put in the report. He died in a car accident. But he had all these bruises and everything on his body that didn't indicate a car accident. It looked like he had been beaten. So his family asked him questions. 2 years later, a video surfaces. You done told this man's family he died in a car accident. They done seen him when he died. You know, you get to go view the body. They're like, you know, and when the cause of death was never given as a homicide. And then it was also never given from a car accident. They just left it blank. The official medical examiner report left it blank. So, the medical examiner is a white supremacist and a bigot. probably a racist because a medical examiner has got some power. So let's just say a medical examiner is a racist. An ME is a racist, especially down in Louisiana because they can kill black people all the time. Say it's natural causes. Medical examiners say it's natural causes. Families, they don't know nothing about it. Natural causes. Died of cardiac arrest. You said he died in a car accident. Now a video service is showing you killing him. I got a picture. I ain't put it up yet. I'll probably make that my thumbnail on this video. I ain't been doing thumbnails on the video. Somebody said I might want to get back to that. You know, you get 13, 14 views on your video with a thumbnail. I could probably get up to 20. And it's of the brother just laying, he's limp. He's totally limp. They've killed him. And I was going to put it up as my cover picture on Facebook, but I didn't. They got to talk about the George Floyd thing, and I'm like, nah. I didn't want to be a part of that. But yeah, Brother Green, he was killed a year before George Floyd was killed. And I'm not going to discount George Floyd's death, but understanding that if we knew about Brother Green the same way we knew about George Floyd and watched him die right at the hands of the police the same way, George Floyd's probably here today. Probably here today. That's the picture. Sorry to be doing y'all like Vicky Dillard. But that's the picture. He gone. You can see up around the top of his head, you see them arms, they holding him up. He's gone. He's already gone. Man begged for his life. Called them motherfucking creeps his brother. He said, I'm your brother. It's not your brother, man. That's not your brother. Those weren't your brothers. He probably figured because he was, looked like he was a biker. So, he probably figured, he had black and white bike buddies, had black and white co-workers. He was in a black and white space. He probably figured he ran up on some cops. They're his brother. It's not your brother. None of those are your brother. If you had one brother in the bunch, he would have stopped all the other ones from doing what they did. You didn't have one brother in that bunch. And they all had badges, and they all had guns, and they all had tasers, and they all had pepper spray, and they all had handcuffs. They all had a license to kill him because of qualified immunity. They had a license to kill him. See, you take away qualified immunity, you're taking away some privilege. The ultimate privilege. And see, people don't like me talking like this because this runs people away. That's what I said. I wasn't sent here to be liked. And you can't even ask people questions now on what they got going on, what they got popping on this in this civil activism space, because everybody gets all fucked up. Because they think because I question what they do, I'm questioning their mission. Chances are I've already questioned your mission. Real shit, I probably already questioned your mission. So the opportunity for me to ask something, I'm not questioning your mission. It's actually something I may agree with. Because if I was just going to attack it, as y'all say, I just attack shit. You just attacking. You always so negative. Stop being so negative. How the fuck am I negative when I just ask a question? See, I know so many women out here now are used to being able to browbeat the fuck out of a male. And I give you that. You can do it. You can, y'all, some of y'all ladies out here can browbeat the fuck out of a male. You can. Y'all good. I'm talking about, I mean, you'll send males running away with their heads tucked between their legs, not knowing what to say, what to do, what to think. Y'all do that to them males. But let me tell you something about a motherfucking man. Okay? You don't run a man away. A lady don't run a man away. Okay? First and foremost, you're gonna sit the fuck down and we're gonna talk about this shit as adults, or we're not gonna talk at all. That's a man to a lady. A male to a lady, he gonna sit there browbeaten and broken until he's given the proper opening to run, to scurry, to go on get. You motherfuckers out here, there's a lot of males out here. There's a lot of males in this social justice space. A lot of beta energy. And that's why on so many platforms, the women are running the social justice spaces. Look who's leading these parades and protests and this, that, and the other. As symbolic as the shit is, look who's leading it. A bunch of pseudo Catherine Cleavers. Y'all not Catherine Cleavers, y'all June Cleavers. With a BLM shirt on. I want to see somebody Photoshop that. Put June Cleaver in a BLM shirt. That was one show that I love. I love the shit out of Leave It to Beaver. Not one black person in that show. I love the shit out of Leave It to Beaver. Yeah. So when I'm looked at as negative, and the crazy thing is, I'm not looking for that power. I know where my strengths are. I absolutely know where my strengths are. I'm not getting out in the street with a megahorn. That's not what I do. That's not what I need to do. When I built a rapport with some of them local politics, and some actually asked me questions about certain people, and I let them know who your hollers are and who your screams are. I have no problem with that. Don't be worrying these people about no bullshit. If you're trying to run some real shit past them and get some things done, okay. But stop running the same old fucking rhetoric by them. Because they are politics. They are going to do what they're going to need to do to get elected that next term. So they'll come out to your goddamn functions. That's what they do. A good politician gonna show up to your event. The motherfuckers who don't care about you, you won't see them. They're not coming. I thought you said so and so was coming. Nah, they say they couldn't attend today. And then you motherfuckers get out there and vote for them anyway. Didn't come to none of your functions. You went to their campaign rally and you're voting for them. You simp ass motherfuckers. I be damned. If you don't support me, I'm not supporting you. I don't give a fuck who you are. And I'm going to talk against you. How about that? I don't care whether you like me. Makes me no never mind. And the fact that you don't means I'm probably doing something right. I don't need anybody's position in the civil rights movement of 2021 and beyond. I can utilize my voice strategically, and I'll utilize it voluntarily. But don't come at me with no bullshit. And when you say that I'm being negative just because I don't acquiesce to your symbolic bullshit, you need to really look at yourself and see if you're being positive or if you're really being negative. Y'all do know y'all can have positive thoughts and have negative results, right? See, being negative can come both ways. You can absolutely have goodness in your heart, but get a fucked up result. Or I can say shit with malice and get great results. Y'all don't hear me. Man, we almost did 2 hours here. Appreciate you, Bree. Oh, they gotta hear me, or they wouldn't be so upset. That's the funny thing. I don't comment on enough of their posts. I don't comment on enough of their posts for them to just. They got to be watching the videos, and that's fine. I don't care. Just like the whole thing with the gentrification thing, you know, when you get asked questions, you get asked questions so funny. It's like, man, brother's just really trying to put things together. Okay, I get it. Just trying to put things together, trying to clean the community up. But your community has been gentrified. You got a whole bunch of white folks that moved in here. You got a bunch of Asian folks that moved in here. Go up to their motherfucking door, knock on the motherfucker. We your friendly neighbor cleanup crew. What we're gonna do is we're gonna get out here and clean up the park today. Knocking all these tumbleweeds down. We're gonna fill it in with some the little asphalt shit. We're gonna put some nets up on these rims. Maybe you have to put some rims up on the backboards. Whatever you're gonna do it because it's a community project and it's a community and you need a park. You got tennis courts? Get you some nets. Put them nets up, get all the tumbleweeds out of the tennis court. You got a community center, get you some tennis rackets and tennis balls and all that shit. You want to go to the tennis court, you go into the community center, and then you sign out, not rent, sign out the rackets and the balls. And the only way you can get that, you got to live in that little corridor where the community center is. And you give your address, and if you don't bring my rackets and balls back, I'm coming to your house. How come y'all don't do that? Or if you don't want to have them at the community center, because if the community center ain't about shit, and it ain't covering the whole community, your gentrified community, you just have the rackets and the balls and the basketballs and all that shit at one of the designated neighbors' house, and then y'all flip it. Part of the community, you flip it. Every few months you have some. Every few months you have some. You be the one. I don't know what I did to these folks, Free. So it is what it is. If you're a neighborhood and your neighborhood is gentrified, you got this new money, because that's what it is. It's new money. It's done come to your neighborhood. New money, new resources. Utilize it the same way it utilizes you. And you're going to have those neighbors you're going to have those neighbors that might not want to be involved. I get it. They just want to own their home, live their life, But see, here's the thing. If they got children, they need to understand that's going to make it difficult on their children. Because if they choose to opt out of the community projects, the kids in the community are going to opt out on their kids' ass. And do you really want that? You know, do you really need that? I'm not saying they're going to be bullied or beat up or whatever. I'm just going to say, kids might not want to play with somebody that doesn't participate in the shit. And what you going to do? Take your kid to another area to have them play, to get their recreational activity, to get their real upbringing? Because that's what their upbringing is. Kids playing in the neighborhood. That's how you really raised. That's how you really raised. And what you teach your child in the house is how they respond when they get out of the house into the neighborhood. Teach your child how to be standoffish. Teach them how to be a segregationist. They're going to be one when they get outside. Nowadays, I believe they call that a loner. Depressed. Suicide candidate. Your kid live in this neighborhood, all these kids, but don't nobody like them. And it's generally not because of the kid, it's because of the parents. Thanks, Free. So yeah, man. We have what we have, but it ain't enough. And if we're not going to fight together, we're just going to lose out. We don't have enough people that are fighting for us now. So we at least got to get collected. And once we get collected, we got to start putting people in positions of power politically that are going to advocate for us. Not all people. We know that's their job. But they're going to advocate with specificity for us. And I don't give a fuck at this point if they're not black, because we've seen black ones come in and do nothing for us. We've seen white ones come in and they do enough for us to get elected. Now you got to do more. So we can't find black ones. We're going to have to find white ones that are going to want to do more. Because I don't think these politicians are as tone deaf as Joe Biden is. Joe Biden thinks he's going to be able to replace black people with Latinos and Asians and this. I'm going to do all this shit for all these other people. And then they'll just vote Democrat automatically. Some of these motherfuckers don't vote. Some of these motherfuckers are Republicans. Some of these motherfuckers are independent. He think he talking to some people he can just pull into the Democratic Party. Some of these people know the bullshit. They're never going to be a Democrat. Period. My next clip, I'm going to talk about the Underground Railroad Cafe here in Ypsi, in Depot Town. You got a train depot. You got to have a cafe for the depot. And right off the tracks is the Underground Railroad Cafe. I mean, it's publicly known as Sidetrack Bar and Grill, but they've been running some slave-like practices there. And there is a lawsuit that's out that it just puts it out there how they were made to work for free. The lawsuit is out. And these people were made to work for free. Servers that were supposed to receive tips were doing non-tippable jobs, taking them out of the money wheel, taking their tips and distributing them to non-tippable employees. Slave like. So we're gonna talk about that. I believe the owner's name Jessica and Linda French. That's a daughter-mother combo. And from what I'm hearing nowadays, they say Jessica worse than the mama. Jessica worse than Linda. I thought Linda was, who she was, and then she spat out a daughter and taught her that hate. They said Jessica's 10 times worse. How could that be? But, I'm going to see. See, she likes to catch people in their weaknesses and whatnot. And that's how they control them. They control them with their weaknesses. They employ a lot of their tenants in their rental properties. Yes. We get on fan base tonight, Free. Thanks for reminding me. I've got content I can push through there, pre-recorded content. But I made a video about 2 days ago, and I never even put it up. It's a YouTube video. Just get caught up, man. But that's what happens. That's what happens. But we got to get collected. And I don't know any other way we're going to be able to do it except for politics. I don't think we should glean to celebrities for the political leadership. Although you get somebody like a Kwame Brown, who right now, I mean, he's letting people know, like, look, I'll let motherfuckers eat out this. I don't give a fuck. Maybe he can help get us into some different spaces. Because you do know he's down there where brother Ahmaud Arbery was killed. If I'm not mistaken, he's actually in that same city. Yeah, man. I gotta get on my job. There's too much shit going right now. But yeah. Want to talk about that? I checked in with someone today. Their brother actually lives on Wired Boulevard, and see if I can get them to talk about the trash man, the supervisor, Schwartz, telling people to pick up trash. That's what the township is for, motherfucker. Y'all got a whole cleanup crew. If it's on a person's property, talk to them. If that shit is anywhere else, look, man, we want them to have community cleanups like these other places. Are you going to tell them new homeowners in that new subdivision to come out and pick up trash? Of course you're not. Don't tell the Wired Boulevard residents to do it either. Get the fuck out of here. Fuck out of here. Share the content. Share the content. I've only been sharing it to these spaces I've been sharing it to because it's easy to do it from. That's the other thing about the Have Space. I don't have to individually do it. I can damn near hit like 5 places at once on Facebook. On the other platforms, it's just on there. I got to find out what happened with Periscope. Kimberly Hopeful at the beginning was like, it's gone. She said it's gone. Maybe it's just not. It's not the shit like it used to be. Is this one of those people that parks in the very last space of the store and then he walks to the store for his exercise? Oh, he has a dog. He's going to walk his dog. Now, if his dog shits in that grass, he should definitely have a pooper scooper. And the dog is shitting in the grass. And he doesn't like he's going to clean it up. He's just letting his dog shit there. Yeah, he shit. And they're just walking around on the grass. See, this is dumb shit. This is why they don't want y'all to have pit bulls and little dogs like that. This is like it's a younger pit. He did not make any motion to go back and clean that shit up. I need you to reach out to Sandra Watley, Inkster councilwoman. She's on Facebook. Let his dog shit, and he's putting it back in the car. They're gonna ride around some more. You see that kind of shit right there? No pun intended. If you're gonna have your dog come out, get out of the car and shit, the dog must stink because he's got all the windows down. At least pick up the shit. Wow, this motherfucker literally let the dog shit, and now he's about to go into a restaurant. So he's gonna end up leaving the dog in the car, I'm sure. Let's see if he walks into the restaurant. He leaves that dog in the car, I should call fucking Humane Society. I don't give a fuck. It's not extreme temperatures or not. You don't leave no animal in the car. He's pulling into a regular parking space and he's about to go eat him a meal in the restaurant with his dog in the car. Why couldn't you just leave your dog at home, man? Why your dog got to come to the restaurant while you going and enjoy a meal? Catch some Sports Center and shit. We do shit so fucking backwards. Said the stream stopped. Uh-oh. Says the stream stopped. Well, I'm gonna wrap it up anyway. I think I got pretty much what I wanted to say out. Got to check out BTP tonight. Supposed to have an interesting topic. Hope they don't get a goddamn hit by using that motherfucker's image. Because, you know, these beta males, they good for that shit. You use my image. That's my intellectual property. YouTube. I don't know when black men became so goddamn sensitive. I mean, was it the skinny jeans era when it hit? Was it before that? I mean, there's just so much sensitivity now in the black collective. So yeah, man. I guess the stream's off. I don't even know. Let me see if it's still moving on Facebook. Probably not. She said it's off there. We're having some fun out there in Sacramento. So yeah, cutting in and out. All right, I'm gonna wrap it up. So that's some weird shit. The signal never dropped, never changed. Said I had full bars the whole time. So I guess you just can't tell out here. It's hard out here for a content creator. Y'all be good. Holler at you when I holler at you. Day 50 on Haps. Day 50. And from the count, it's 71 videos. Could be 72. I think I might have messed up and slid past one. But I'm going to go with this was the 71st video. I know it was definitely 70, but I think I fat fingered it and slid up and didn't count one. It's definitely 70. Could be 71 and this be 72, but I'll take 71 right now. 71 clips in 50 days. It's a lot. Takes a lot out. Excuse me. Y'all be good.